Guys, this is Chris. Coming at you with some test shots for my brand new D750. And one of the things I've got to say is for a lens that I had for a long time that I didn't really like because it was so soft, is completely changed by this camera. The autofocus is way more on target and really gets this lens right to where I can actually feel like I'm using it in its full capacity. That's the 135 f2 lens. One of the things that I liked about it when I first got it is that it had this nice creamy bokeh about it, but it is very, very soft. And one thing to show you what I mean by that, it gives almost like a very dreamlike appearance to some things. And so if you click on this, let's back it up a little bit. It's sharp. I can see lines in there, but it's very dreamy, almost very, very soft. Very like 1980s portraiture-ish type. So I don't even know how to say that, but it's all good. I readjusted the nice thing about this lens is it's got a defocus control, so you can defocus it. And so I turned the defocus off. Here it's on, here it's off. And I don't think I changed anything other than the defocus on the lens itself. And looking at this, if I was to zoom in, super, super sharp, probably too close. Let's get it to like halfway. There you go. And that's at ISO 6400. Let's take a look at some lens shots that I have. Now, here's a lens that I've got. This is an old $80 lens that I bought. Works great, very sharp, super performer, great in outdoor shooting. One thing about this lens, when you shoot the 135 wide open, not this lens, is I get this magenta around the edges, and that's very common. You get this greenish hue around the edges. Very common with a prime lens, especially when you're shooting wide open on older glass. And so I'm in Lightroom actually, and this is a Lightroom Creative Cloud. When I go in here, I'm going to scroll down to, sorry, I'm at a coffee house if it's loud. One of the things I wanted to show off here is that, let's go into sharpening. I've got it really sharp. If I zoom out, look how nice and beautiful and soft the background looks, yet this is super sharp at ISO 6400. Zoom in. One of the neat features is if I go into lens correction, here we go, basic lens correction. I want to remove chromatic aberrations. If that doesn't really remove anything for you, go into your color and take your defringe, and it has special colors on here. So if I'm sliding this, take a look what happens as I zoom in on this. I'm taking out that magenta, and it's almost gone. I can adjust this purple hue, and now it's really gone. Now for the green hues around here, there's not a whole lot. There's a little bit of greenish hue, if you can see that. I can slide this over and take that out as well. Move this over. Move this over. There we go. Now it's completely gone. Let's zoom out. And if I was to turn this feature off, take a look at the before and what lens correction does on the after. Huge difference. Again, let's turn that on and off. Probably can't see it from far away. It's usually when you zoom in on it. Let's take a look at, here's where I zoomed in right on the Nikon, and now this is where this camera shines. The D750, that is, not the one we're looking at. In this particular instance, I see this greenish hue back here. Once again, one of the examples of lateral color fringing that you'll see from chromatic aberration. And so we'll go in here, and I'll take this green slider in the lens correction, and I'll move it way over to the right, and then I'll adjust here. There we go. You can literally see that just melt away. It's gone. Same thing with this pinkish purplish zone here. I'm going to drag this over, and that's gone. And I'm looking at this image, and it's just unbelievable. That I shot this at 3200 at f2, and this is super sharp. And I don't think on this one I added any sharpening. If I sharpen this up, watch what happens. So look how, and that's typically normal sharpening for me, is I will add that much sharpening. This camera is low light capability is just phenomenal. And so looking at that, I am super stoked, super happy with how sharp this lens is now that I'm shooting it on the D750. So anyway, thanks for watching, and have a great night.